Today, I want to dig in a little bit more to really unpack for you what is the Jasper Blueprint. Because while you may have listened to the last episode and got a bit of an overview, understood some of the origin story, and heard me touch on some of the components of the intention behind designing or creating the Jasper Blueprint, today I want to really make sure that in a practical sense, you understand what it is as it relates to you as a business leader. Now, when I talk about the Jasper Blueprint, I refer to it as being a customized set of decision-making tools. There's some elements in that I want to pull apart. In terms of what makes it customized, that to me is the real power of what it is that I've created here and why it is so different to what other options you have out there as a business leader. Because when we shift into that second piece around decision-making tools, what we are trying to avoid and why we have designed the Jasper Blueprint the way we have is we're wanting to avoid a situation where you get pushed into trying to fit your business, your decisions, your priorities into a framework or a set of methodologies and tools that don't really fit you, that don't really understand what is most important to you. And so the customized piece at the beginning is really important. So if I talk you through kind of the Jasper Blueprint itself, depending what way you go about developing your Jasper Blueprint, if you join me and do the 6-month online program and you are going through the content yourself and developing this as fast or slow as you want to and being able to engage with me live in the weekly sessions to ask questions and drill in and figure it out, then you'll come up with your own approach to, a folder and different bits of how you're printing out and pulling together your thinking that sits beneath the development of your Jasper Blueprint. If you join me and do the 3-month intensive program where we center that around a 3-day retreat, either in person or virtual, depending on your preference and ability to travel, then with me, you will work through and develop out your Jasper Blueprint using the folder and all of the steps that we give you as part of that. So there's a lot of thinking and work that goes on in developing your Jasper Blueprint. And in subsequent episodes, we'll talk through those components of what makes up your Jasper Blueprint. How do you develop it? Because there's a 3-leveled system to actually developing the Jasper Blueprint. But once you've done all of that background thinking, which allows it to be customized, which gets you to think about and reflect on and start to articulate for yourself as an individual leader, but really importantly for the business, those foundational elements that you need to have clarity on around what are your core values as an organization? What is your vision for what you want to be part of contributing to in the world? What is your mission and the way that you as an organization in particular contribute and the work that you do in the world? And really importantly, when we think about the fact that we're trying to merge money and meaning, it helps you and really guides you to understand how to not see these two concepts of contribution or giving back and then running a business, not seeing them as two separate things. The way that we uniquely merge them is by helping you master an understanding of your business model and those elements of what it is you care about, what you're wanting to contribute to in the world. So we actually guide you through being able to weave those back into how that plays out in your business model, how that contributes to or impacts the business, core business activities that you're actually doing and focusing on, and how you prioritize spending money, choosing suppliers, treating staff, the way you deliver to customers. all of those elements that relate to your business model and how you operate your business are covered, as well as very clearly identifying which competitive advantages you are going to focus on to make sure that as you bring meaning into your business and you start to more intentionally weave that contribution into your core business activities, not just your donations or giving of your time to causes you care about. As we teach you how to do that intentionally inside your business, in the core business activities, how you run the business, all of those elements are part of where we get you to clarity. We help you frame out your articulations, and we make sure you actually understand where the relationships and connections are, because all of this is interconnected. And if we want you to be able to design a business model that actually creates that win-win, a business model that allows you to set in motion the reinforcing aspects where, as you start to contribute more, as there is more meaning in your business, it creates this self-reinforcing loop where you also grow and strengthen the financial stability of your business, where you also leverage these competitive advantages more to grow and strengthen your business. The self-reinforcing loop, that aspect of a genuinely win-win business model, only comes about when you've done this pre-work, which is part of what we do with you as you develop your Jasper Blueprint. That work then allows you to be able to create your high-level, incredibly useful document, which is the Jasper Blueprint for your business. And in that document, you will have all of the core elements that have boiled down to its essence what it is that's most important for your organization, how you're going to articulate that, and has the graphics and the narrative paragraphs, articulations of all of those foundational elements for your business. So that without having to constantly go back through, 80 or 100 pages of notes, you have, in the space of a few pages, captured all of the fundamentals, captured the richness of that thinking and reflection. So those pieces are captured at this high level of your Jasper Blueprint, and they are also then woven into these individual decision-making tools that I've created. And so what you will be able to do is have this one go-to document that has your business model, the elements of how you as an organization are going to merge money and meaning, which competitive advantages you're focused on, how you make the biggest contribution, and what that looks like in terms of what's most important to you. The decision-making tools themselves, when I say they're customized, what I mean by that is that unlike something which is quite rigid or off the shelf, and it's sort of saying, consider these generic things and then make your decision based on that. The way that I have designed each of the decision-making tools in your Jasper Blueprint means that in the template form, we have categories where you enter in your specific information. So if I run you through tool 1 in the Jasper Blueprint, it's about assessing opportunities. This is the tool that businesses use the most in an ongoing way. So anytime you have a decision you need to make, something where you're weighing up opportunities or whether this is a good use of time, it doesn't matter what size the decision is or the opportunity or what you're trying to think through. What you have with tool 1, the assessing opportunities tool, is that across the top, you're going to enter your mission. So these are all things you're going to develop as you develop your blueprint. So when we've developed your Jasper Blueprint, we will then enter in your mission as an organization, your vision, and your values. So the actual naming of your values, as well as the full description because when you do a core values exercise with me, it is not a token generic exercise. It is a deep and incredibly powerful process that you'll go through. So the methodology to develop these things is critical and is what makes it powerful and customized. But once you've done that, you now have your mission, vision, and values here. And then the tool itself has a flow of a decision sort of cascade, an aspect where you ask this question and answer it. Depending if the answer is yes or no, you'll be guided through the process. And what it helps you figure out is a way to systematically and thoughtfully capture the right questions, to dig in where necessary, but be guided by, and if we think about the important word of touchstone in terms of this aspect of Jasper being a touchstone to test the purity, the piece that we're trying to do here, which is that touchstone or testing for the purity and alignment of our decisions, is that by bringing our mind back to what is most important after doing the reflections and developing your Jasper Blueprint, we ask these questions, reflecting on what is most important to us, and then being able to be guided through, okay, what do we now do? What is the best response moving forward? Across all of the decision-making tools and in the way that your Jasper Blueprint is laid out, not only does it have that unique aspect of being customized by bringing in your own reflections and articulations that we've helped you develop, but it also then is realistic about the aspects that, one, I want to be respectful to you as a leader and say, ultimately, nobody can tell you. It's not my job to tell you what you should do. There are aspects of discernment and judgment that each of us as leaders has to work through. And so I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm not trying to tell you what to care about or what you should believe in. But what I am giving you is a framework. I'm giving you the step-by-step process of how to develop it, and then that framework in terms of this methodology of pulling it all together for you. So you're not just left with all these random bits. What I love, and part of the uniqueness of how my brain works, is that I'm someone who can zoom out and zoom in really effectively. I can see the whole, I can see the system and all the moving parts. I spot patterns and synthesize really effectively with a bit of a blink capability. And then I can drill down to what to do with that. So what you're tapping into with the Jasper Blueprint is that skill set of me being able to take all of these pieces and help you no longer have the overwhelm of not being able to differentiate or discern what is most important and having, oh my goodness, there's just like 100 moving parts. I have taken the parts, boiled them down, connected the dots for you, and given you a tool to then use in an ongoing way that really respects and captures you, the uniqueness of you as the leader, the uniqueness of your business. And these decision-making tools leave room for discernment. They encourage you to be honest with yourself and others so that when you get to a place where you might have gone through these decision-making tools and said, you know what, this is not an incredibly strategic decision. It's not about being focused, and that I could claim this was a really great decision from that. But you may get to a point where you say, it's not those things, but it's also not a distraction, and it would be really fun, and I just want to do it. That's great. The tools allow you the space to come to that conclusion, but then just encourage you to say, if you're going to proceed, be honest with yourself and others that this is a fun decision, not a focused one. So you'll notice that practitioner side of me, the pragmatic side of me coming out that is saying, this doesn't have to be really neat and restrictive. It's not about telling you what to do, because I know if you're anything like me, which I suspect you are, you don't like people telling you what to do. So what I'm giving you is I'm freeing up your mental load to not have to be designing all of these things from scratch yourself, but to be able to do the thinking once, get to clarity and articulations that are useful of what's most important, and then use these tools to streamline your decision making, but to actually have the confidence that as you prioritize, as you decide and make those judgment calls and discern what is appropriate and aligned for your business, you are doing it from a place of clarity around what is most important, not from a place of being exhausted, pulled in lots of directions, and overwhelmed by the decision-making load that's on you as a leader, and also not being pulled or reacting to those external voices of expectations, the demands that are on you, and just having that situation where the squeaky wheel gets the attention, where those that are demanding of you end up getting the best of you. As a leader in the business environment you're operating in, this aspect of the Jasper Blueprint for me has been a passion project to make sure that I do my part in equipping you as a business leader to be able to actually see results and value added to the way you run your business, to free you up to run it without more overwhelm, more things to get your head around. So the customized decision-making tools are critical from that perspective of allowing you to become more of yourself, allowing your business to really step fully into what it is you want it to be in the world without being distracted or doing that aspect that you've heard me say many times of mistaking movement for progress. I don't want you to be doing lots of things and thinking that that means you are making progress towards the goals that you've set in your business. Movement and progress are two different things. With the Jasper Blueprint, it is going to give you the confidence to make big decisions quickly with the confidence that they are in alignment with what matters. For the reflective exercise or example today, I'm going to answer a question that the lovely Mariah Brown asked. So I'm just going to read you the question and then I'm going to connect it back to the Jasper Blueprint for you. So Mariah said, so many entrepreneurs I know either took a loss or showed no growth in 2023. How do you navigate new growth, new pivots, and new business investments or ventures in 2024 after feeling burned and possibly even reticent to take risks? So the way that I would say the Jasper Blueprint really helps with this challenge that I agree many people are feeling very strongly as we're coming into 2024 is that when you feel that reticence, that nervousness, that it feels risky or too hard and it's played out badly for you previously, one of the big components of why that happens is because we haven't been able to anticipate risks and mitigate them. We haven't been able to have the tools or be equipped to run scenarios, to be able to play out how something might be received by our customers, or to understand the flow-on impacts of what it might cost in the back end to actually deliver certain products or services to our customers given the current business conditions or the operating conditions we find ourselves in. So the Jasper Blueprint is going to help give you confidence and the changes that you need to make. It's going to help reduce the risk of how those might play out and increase the chance of them actually landing well and resonating with your customers in a few different ways. I like alliteration, so let's focus on the way that the Jasper Blueprint will help you around mindset, me, mastering, and merging. So to jump into those really quickly, let me run you through what it looks like. The first aspect of where it's going to help you is around mindset. So the shift that is going to occur for you when you develop a Jasper Blueprint is you're going to start to question and break down those unconscious beliefs around the purpose of business. You will realize through this process that in fact the purpose of business is not the maximization of profit, and that is actually going to create a really unstable business for you if that is a one-dimensional approach that you take to building out your business. Instead, the Jasper Blueprint is going to help you start to think about the purpose of business being around the creation and delivery of value, and then seeing that it is through doing that well that you're able to capture value in return. And that is the first way that the Jasper Blueprint is going to help you. It's going to shift your mindset around the purpose of business. From that place, once you've shifted that, you're going to be able to move into that category I called me. So this is around that internal work that for you as a business leader, you're going to do two elements in this space. The first is to understand more deeply the know thyself component that the ancients said was the foundation of all wisdom, the foundation of all action that we take. So for you as an individual leader, through developing your Jasper Blueprint, you're going to get much clearer on what it is that drives you, what's important to you. And then importantly, you're going to get clarity around what drives your organization, what is most important to the business. There'll be a whole different range of ways that we're going to do that with you. From this place of clarity, now you've shifted your ideas around the purpose of business. You have genuinely driven out clarity and articulations around what is most important to you and what drives you and the business. Then you're going to move into mastering business modeling. And so this is where we get into the space of being able to say, okay, as we look at our business model, we are going to focus on knowing the value that we bring, understanding the value customers want, and then capturing value in return. And for Mariah's question, when there was this challenge around that nervousness of navigating growth, figuring out how to pivot which investments or business changes to actually make in 2024, if we have those fundamental things of knowing the value we bring, understanding the value customers want, and capturing value in return, then we start to master our sense of business modeling by seeing that as we deliver results, it drives revenue into our business. And that piece is the de-risker that allows us to have confidence that those changes we make will actually resonate with a customer, and that we have confidence in our ability to deliver them in the back end in a way that actually stacks up financially. So when I talk about in your business model creating a win-win, the Jasper Blueprint is going to help you do this because it is in fact a reinforcing loop that you create, not something where you have to compromise on one side of the equation and end up putting yourself in that very risky position that many people found themselves in 2023 that Mariah spoke about, when they haven't actually understood the context they're operating in. They have not been equipped with the tools to actually business model and run scenarios properly, and so they aren't able to build a solid business. And then the last area that we're going to look at in terms of how the Jasper Blueprint will help you navigate that challenge is around merging money and meaning. And so when you build out your Jasper Blueprint, you will have a clear articulation of who it is that you are wanting to create transformation for, how you do that through your core business activities, and then really importantly, this aspect that you can see here is around what are the competitive advantages you're going to focus on to actually ensure that as you do this, you leverage these positive impacts that actually drive growth and revenue in your business and strengthen the financial stability of your organization. And you're unapologetic about that. So it is through this aspect of the Jasper Blueprint not leaving you with all of these disconnected compartments or different ideas about your business, things you want to do, but instead really explicitly teaching you how to get to clarity on the core elements and then know how to connect them back into what they mean. What are the flow-on effects inside your business so that you can understand when you pick certain groups you want to impact or have transformation in their lives, whether that is your customers, whether that is your team, whether that is in the back end of your suppliers or your supply chain. You then know through those competitive advantages what has to happen. How does that tie back to your canvas? I won't just leave you hanging trying to figure that out yourself. We will be explicit and show you, teach you to connect it in so that you know, how do we have to have particular customer relationships or certain channels? What are the key activities that we would need to do to ensure that we actually can see those benefits that we've chosen in our competitive advantages, that we are decreasing costs in the back end or increasing revenue in the front, that we are starting to see for our team an increased sense of purpose. Whatever it is you've chosen, the critical element of your Jasper Blueprint is that it is relational and it connects the dots. Everything is interconnected, and we'll show you how to do that. From that place, you are going to be able to get to confidence in the decisions you're making. They will be informed decisions. You will know that they are aligned, and you are going to be able to de-risk and mitigate all of those components that actually put you in a position as an entrepreneur or a business owner in a place where you're feeling fearful and reticent to make the changes. The last aspect then around starting to shift out of that place of, we've done this reflective exercise, we've understood through this example how the Jasper Blueprint will play out and help us in our business. Now we want to really look at how we drive that to action. And so there's a few questions I want you to ask yourself. The first is, I want you to be able to map out how you currently make decisions in your business. So when we think about the Jasper Blueprint as a decision-making tool, be honest with yourself and actually say, where is it that I get my information? What supports me currently in my decision making? Pick a few areas or examples, whether they're big or small, and jot down, map out, how did you make those decisions? Was there certain data or analytics that you used? Did you have some financials or budgeting that you were looking at? Were there internal reports that you used? Did you have particular team members or meetings that helped inform your decision making? So don't write down what you wish your decision making was, or intellectually what you think informs your decision making. I really want you to map out how you currently make decisions, what informs those decisions. The second question then to ask yourself as we drive to action is, when you look at that list, are you comfortable with all of those elements, and whether you have what you need in place to be making informed and aligned decisions? The next question I want you to answer for yourself is, when you reflect on what emerged for you during that exercise, are there areas where you struggled to have clearly articulated those foundational elements which help you test for alignment? So thinking about the Jasper Blueprint and it being that touchstone, talking about needing to be able to come back and test. Are we in alignment? Are we moving towards our goals? When you mapped out how you currently make decisions and where you get your information from, how that actually plays out, do you have the clear articulations you need to test for alignment? The last question I want you to ask yourself is, what are you going to do to improve and streamline your decision making moving forward? I'm going to help you avoid wasting time and money with experts and people that are really giving you advice that doesn't help get you where you want to go. But I'm also going to help you to be freed up from the overwhelm of all of these decisions in this rapidly changing environment, and give you a proven process, a step-by-step process to actually get to a place where you have your own filters to make decisions, where you can streamline your decision making and remove that overwhelm, but know that the decisions aren't just quick and decisive, but they're actually aligned, and they are helping you trend in the direction of where you want to go, that they are helping you contribute to the things you actually care about and build a business which is no longer one that is one-dimensional and quite empty, only focused on profit maximization, but is instead a business that takes seriously that we can create a win-win, and that if we think about business more from that perspective of understanding the value we bring, understanding the value our customers want, and learning how to deliver that in a way that then drives revenue into our business and allows us to capture value in return. That concept of business, combined with all of the amazing deep reflection and articulations you will get to as you build your Jasper Blueprint, is going to completely unlock your business and your own leadership and take you to another level. So if you are interested and you want to understand more how to develop your Jasper Blueprint for your business, please jump over to the website, bessigraham.com, and there's a number of ways that you're going to be able to do that. So contact us through the website, and you can either join us for one of the free masterclasses, jump on a call to find out more, or continue to read some of the elements or watch some of the videos to better understand the resources available. But you can build a business where you have this mutually reinforcing loop in place, and where you can contribute more, bring that meaning into your business in a way that actually strengthens the financial stability of the business. My hope is that you build out a Jasper Blueprint in this way so that you are freed from engaging all of these different experts trying to bring in support and help in different elements of your business in a way that cost you a fortune, but aren't actually targeted to what it is that you're genuinely looking for or trying to build in your business. I am rather sick of seeing that coaching, consulting, experts coming in and stripping money out of small and medium-sized businesses without actually really adding any value. When you've developed your Jasper Blueprint, you are going to be able to filter those things out much quicker and make better decisions about which experts, which consultants, which support you bring in from outside. Knowing that you have those foundational elements in place, you can communicate what it is you're after, and you're ultimately going to make better decisions and build a better business.